Hey y'all, today I'm going to show you how to make a rack of lamb. It's a really simple dish. It's some people get intimidated by it, but I'm going to show you how to do it real easy. We're also going to French it, and I'm going to have some garlic mashed potatoes. So the first thing I'm going to do is take a whole clove of garlic, cut it in half. I'm just going to put it on some aluminum foil, just a little drizzle of olive oil, and some salt. I have an oven at 400 degrees. I'm just going to pop it in the oven here. And that'll cook for about an hour. So let's get to the lamb. I would suggest to buy a whole rack of lamb like this. You're going to have the fat, basically it's like fat back, that you're going to have on the back of it. And we're going to French these, so I'm going to show you what to do. You can usually just pull this fat off. Get your fingers in here. There you go. And you just have to work it through. Now that we've pulled the fat back off, you have just a little bit of meat and mostly fat. So we'll take this. Now there is going to be some fat left on here, and that's okay. We can leave. Now that we've pulled the fat back off, we're going to go ahead and French these. What I'm doing is I'm just taking my knife and running it to where I want it to be cleaned, and then I'm taking the end of the knife and poking it through so it comes on the other side, and then I'll just line it up and do that again on this side. Here's what the lamb looks like once we've Frenched it. So you try to get these just as clean as you can. You can have your butcher do this. It's going to save you a lot of time. It does take a while to do this. I don't mind doing it, and I know that I get all the meat that I possibly can for whatever dish I'm going to make after that. And then here's all the leftover meat. So when you buy a rack of lamb that's already done, you're paying for pretty much all this, and you're only getting that. So you're losing all this, and that makes a really good braise or soup or stock or anything like that you want to use. So we just did the hardest part of this recipe, and that was Frenching it, and that can be done like I said, through your butcher. So we're going to go ahead and put a high heat, medium high to high heat on your. I'm going to go ahead and just cut it in half and do four ribs, and then 4 ribs over here. So they're going to look like this. This one did have a little bone here, but it really wasn't that big, so I just pulled it off. The only thing we're going to do with these rack of lamb is put salt and pepper. That's it, nothing else. We're going to put, of course, olive oil, but you don't want to season this up with a lot more spices, because you want it to be about the lamb. Lamb, if you've not had lamb, it is a little gamey. The more you cook it, the less gamey it tastes, in my opinion. I like it to medium well, actually. But if you're new to lamb, I would definitely go well done. All right. I got a pretty hot pan here, so I'm going to go ahead and put some olive oil in there. Almost too hot. And then I'm going to go ahead, it's too hot. Alright, we're really cooking here. So what I did is I used olive oil, and since I was getting a smoke on the olive oil, if I would have put my meat in the olive oil then, it would have seared it way too quick and burnt it. So I just taken it off the heat. I'm going to let it cool down for a second. Reduce the heat to a medium heat. Alright, now it looks like it's quit smoking. I'm going to go ahead and put it back on the heat and then sear these. I'm going to sear the tops and then lay it down with the rib side down here. I'm only going to want it to stay on each side for about a minute or two because I want to get a good crust. You can see it's got a nice crust. I'm going to lay the rack of lamb with the meat side up. I'm going to throw it in my oven at 450 degrees. It's going to take about 15 to 20 minutes. So while that's working, I'm going to get some mashed potatoes started. I've got my garlic out of the oven. I want to show you what it looks like. Sorry, it's kind of hard with one hand. And then these will just pop out. Very mushy, and it's going to go in the mashed potatoes. So in a blender, I'm going to put my mint and my basil. I just pulled some out of the garden, so it was quite a bit of mint, maybe a cup and a half to 2 cups of mint and a little bit of basil. I didn't have much basil, so I probably only used about half of a cup of basil. And then 2 cloves of garlic. And put some salt, some pepper, and some lemon juice. Just about half of a lemon. And I'll take those walnuts that I toasted, put them in there as well. And a little bit of olive oil. Now that we've had the mint pesto, we'll just put this to the side. Here's what the rack of lamb looks like once it's been in the oven for about 20 minutes. And I have a internal temperature. I'm wanting it to be about 160, 155, 160. So we'll go ahead and just take the rack of lamb and put your knife between the bones here and just cut it off here. So I got a very nice medium well rack of lamb. I don't know if you can see the color, but there's just a slight amount of pink. This is what the rack of lamb looks like after it's finished with the basil and mint pesto, garlic roasted mashed potatoes, and asparagus with mushrooms and onions. Gives us a taste. If you've never had lamb, try this recipe. I think you'll really enjoy it. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoy.